Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to the Cold War Warrior campaign in the Su-25. I'm going to start this one out with a short introduction, something I haven't been doing for missions in progress for a while now, but I wanted to for this video because I make a bit of a mistake a little ways in. It's kind of subtle. I doubt if anybody would have really noticed until we get to the debrief, and that's where I noticed it, but it's there. I include everything in these videos, mistakes and all, and this is definitely a little bit of a mistake. So I'm not going to spoil the mission, but if you do spot what it is, feel free to leave a comment and leave what your theory is on how I allowed it to happen. I'll have the whole story from my point of view in the debrief at the end of the mission. But until then, let's go ahead and get right back to it. We're in the air departing from Sochi Adler. .354 for 160 at 2,000 flanking, so that's again up there around the target area. Okay, there goes two. Okay, so I'm going to allow it to climb to about, I'll work at about 4,000 meters. And, you know, eventually I am going to have, I can engage with the CVUs. I would rather engage with CVUs of any kind from a moderate altitude. They're not really a good low altitude weapon in the configuration that I have them here. Because if you release these from low altitude or too low in altitude, they just don't have time to dispense and to disperse over an area. So these I will definitely do from high altitude. The rockets, if I do get into a situation where I need to use the rockets, I'm going to have to get down low and get into the AAA shoulder-mounted SAM and the Roland envelope, so not much I can do about that, but I'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Now, let's think about timing here. Okay, I wanted steer point 2 at 1446. That is in, well, exactly 5 minutes from now, so let's see here. Let me plug in 5 minutes. And that is 100 kilometers. So to get there on time, I would need to fly at 1,169 kilometers per hour. So yeah, with that long taxi, there's just no way to make up the time. And it doesn't really matter. I'm not time on target critical on this by any means, although I do want to get there as soon as I can to make sure we don't take too many losses. And let me see, graphics mods that I have right now. I tried out, I'll have a link in the description. I don't remember who made it or where I went to get it, but it was a shaders mod that affects the some of the things like the cloud shadows, the way that the terrain blends into the horizon, the fog effects. Okay, 2 mud spike, and yeah, I've got it as well. Let me actually turn my RWR up slightly. Okay, so mud spike and airborne spike, 12 o'clock. But yeah, shaders mod, and I also installed Mustang's high-res textures for the default Black Sea map, which, from my understanding, a version of these same textures are going to be included in the default DCS 1.5 and DCS 2.0, the default Black Sea map. Okay, so that's, let me see, still got airborne threats. Yeah, still just off my nose to the left, probably MiG-29s, possibly F-4s, but yeah, it's really not my my concern this far out. Okay, so I am going to navigate from here, and I will be back in just a second. Okay, that's 2 of the Mud Spike, 12 o'clock again. I know I've got the Hawks, I know I've got the SA-11s, I know I've got my own SA-8s with my tank division and battalions and regiments. However it's actually set up in this scenario, and however the Russian military actually set that up at the time. Okay, there's 2 tucking in off my wing. I don't have to worry about flying the poor guy into the terrain this time around. I feel bad about the way that I treated him last time. I was, having the usual AI trouble, not being able to get him to engage, and, well, it was because he just, it was his own fault. He flew the aircraft into a hill, but I think I gave him more of a bad rap than he might have deserved, even though he did fly himself into a hill. Okay, I'm just going to climb up over these clouds. Boy, this thing climbs like crazy. I'm already up to like 6,100 meters, or that's at about 20,000 feet. So I'm going to, from here on out, I have some clearer weather, so I'm going to start a slight gradual descent as we get back up into the target area. Let me see, thinking about the way I'm doing the commentary for this mission, I'm throwing in a lot more pauses because I'm going to try to fly like 2 or 3 missions today because I'm in the mood to fly. I'm not in the mood to cut videos together or anything. I just want to fly. So I'm going to have to pace myself, and that's why I'm throwing in a lot more little pauses of dead air without the commentary. But, I did something similar in the previous mission I did in the KA-50 and also the previous mission in the Su-25, and just looking at the number of people that skipped that part, and the number of people that just kept watching, or the number of people that just don't stick around in the videos because they have no patience anyway, which I can't really control any of that. But yeah, for the most part, I mean, there was maybe only 4 or 5 people that even skipped the parts with dead air. So I'm going to keep doing it this way. Now that is a MiG-29. I saw a definite MiG-29 going in the opposite direction. That's never a good sign when you have airborne threats in front of you and you see your air cover going quickly in the opposite direction. So I'm going to keep my eyes peeled from here on out. You'll see exactly what's going on in TACVIEW, but I can't tell. So yeah, long story short on that, rather than just try to keep up a constant commentary, it's absolutely exhausting. Try it sometime and you'll see what I mean. But yeah, I'm going to pace myself on this mission, and I throw in a few more pauses. So speaking of that, I'm going to pause right here and keep looking around, do a little bit more map study. So I'll be back with you here in just a bit. Okay, back at you, 23 kilometers to steer point 2, which is this town right here along the route. Then it's another 43 kilometers to the on-call close air support holding area. So that town is actually right below my nose, right below the clouds. You can't see it just yet, but I'm going straight at it. So from there, it's just a, well, let me go Alt-C to get my pointer back. Yeah, from there, it's just a straight shot right out here. I can almost see the water coming into view. But yeah, this will be the area that I'm holding over right out here in front of me. 18 kilometers. Yeah, still looking just fine. Still got 2 out there. And let me go ahead and think about... I'll wait until a little bit later to get the weapons up. So yeah, I'll be back. Talk to you in a second. Okay, that's new. I was just overtaken by a flight of MiG-23s, so that's very good news indeed. I think I'll have to see how close they actually got to 2. One of them, the flight lead, flew right by 2 as I caught it out of the corner of my eye.
Grachto 1, this is Division Command. Hold your station and stand by for target assignment.
Okay, gotcha. So I'm going to continue out to the station, but it sounds like I am going to have some targets start to get called in right now. So let me go ahead and go. Okay, air to ground. I've got my CBUs called up. So just to refresh myself, okay, it's... yeah, just laser designator on and then release. I do need to, however, lower my sight glass so that I'll be able to see the reticle once it comes into view. So, okay, I've got the sight glass down. Push up the throttle. Let me pick up just a touch more altitude, 4,000 or about, I guess that'd put me about 10,000 feet above ground level at least. 12,000 or so feet would be the barometric altitude. So I'll pull it up a little bit. Okay, so RWR, I've got some possible hawks out in front of me. And that's about it. I haven't seen any airborne threats up there lately. And yeah, again, I'm without an AWACS, but that's okay. And I'll just take it up above this cloud again, and then we'll be able to see back in there and get a little bit more of a fix on the target area. So yeah, holding right here, I'll be able to pick out this little feature jutting in off the water, and then I expect it to be just kind of to fly northeast from there, and that's where we'll get into the engagement, and I'll be able to tell which ones to take out because they're moving, well, they'll be moving towards Makop, which you can see right there is Makop. Okay, so coming up over the cloud. Okay, 8 kilometers. Did I overfly it already? No, it's just still... yeah, I did overfly it already. Let me step to the next steer point. Okay, let me go back to nav mode. Now go back to the steer points. How do I do this again? That's Control tilde. Yeah, that's what I was doing. I don't know why that didn't work before, but... okay, now I'm on steer point 3. That's the first leg of the close air support area, and I'm back into air to ground mode. And do I want to do anything with... yeah, let me go ripple. Let's see here. Left control space for ripple quantity. So that'll be a ripple, 2 bombs, interval. That's, let's see, that's a V to increase the interval. 20 milliseconds. So yeah, we'll go with that. Okay, that's an airborne threat off my nose.
Division Command. I've got word for you.
Okay, stand by.
Your target is as follows. Waypoint 3 at 38 degrees, 20 kilometers. Artillery battery in fire position. No target marking. No friendlies close. I repeat. Waypoint 3 at 38
okay, I'm just writing all this stuff down. Okay, waypoint 3.
Artillery battery in fire position.
038 for 20.
No friendlies close.
Artillery. Got it. So I just need to fly to overfly steer point 3, and it'll be a right-hand turn, 038 for 20 kilometers. I'm looking for an artillery position. Okay, and that's a good use of these CBUs. Okay. So let's be precise on this navigation, as precise as we can at least. I'll just fly directly at steer point 3, then I'll turn to the right, 038. Fly 20 kilometers. And that'll be that. There's probably a slicker way to do this using the HSI, but yeah, I'm going to do it that way. Just overfly and then fly 038. And I'll be able to tell how far away I am by just checking this out. Or the distance indicator out. Okay, it must be 2 o'clock and I need to start worrying about all kinds of threats now, so that's off to my left out in the Krasnodar area. I'm not going to worry about that. Okay, I have Makop over there to my right. That would put our forward lines right down here where I'm looking, I'm thinking. Okay, the rest of it is going to be right out here. I can see not a whole lot going on out there as far as stuff on the ground. Okay, then we bring it around to the right, overfly the steer point. Okay, got the town. Yeah, I've got some stuff right there smoking. Okay, 9 kilometers. Let me level back out. Okay, still got those guys smoking. Nothing else is really standing out, but that's, you know, that's the trade-off between flying at low level and flying up high like this. I'm safer up here. That's a SAM launch. That's a Hawk, is it not? No, that's possibly a Roland. Okay, so I've got a good peg on at least one of the SAM sites out there. I just need to, I'm going to be looking for the target right out here. Okay, 038, 20 kilometers. Actually, no, that's going to be right over there, more or less in the area of that SAM. I think that's the SAM side right there. Got a little, no, that's just terrain right there. Okay, now, okay, 1 kilometer. Okay, now let me turn to 038. We'll fly for 20 kilometers, and the target should be out in front of us once we get around to 038. Okay, 030, so 10 degrees or 8 degrees off the nose, should be right out here. I'll fly a little bit offset to that so I can see. Okay, there's something smoking. It's spike 12 o'clock, gotcha. Another spike 12 o'clock. Okay, 15, 16. Okay, I'm not picking anything up. I'll tell you what, too. Why don't you make yourself useful, engage. Tell you what, see if you can spot some air defenses and take them out. I'm going to continue to look for artillery, which should be... That's just terrain I was staring at there. Going to start auto-dispensing. I've got nothing really standing out as a target here. Boy, close air support in older aircraft is hard. Okay, I've got what looks like an artillery battery right there. I'm going to roll it on that location. That's got to be it. Okay, coming on around. For 18 kilometers. That's the only thing that's looking like a target in the area. Laser active, rolling in. Okay, throttle in. Okay, let me get the trim under control, throw in a lot of nose down trim. Let me come over for alignment. Okay, now as soon as I get a light on. Okay, speed brakes. Though I hate doing this with speed brakes out. Okay, bombs away. That was kind of like a hybrid CCRP type delivery. I'm going to climb, go off the target. I'm obviously going to pull my speed brakes back in. Okay, that's a good impact in the center of that area. They didn't really disperse like I wanted them to. I've got one smoking. Got another one moving. No, seriously, speed brakes back in. Okay, another one's down. Okay, do I roll back in with rockets? Possibly. But for now, let me get my head back out and start to look back around for targets. Let me head back to steer point 3. Okay, 2, spike 9 o'clock, armored targets 10 o'clock for 7, spike 9 o'clock. Okay, I've lost track of 2. I'm going to cease the auto dispense. But I'm in the right general area. That might not have been exactly, like, precisely the right target. That sure did look like an artillery battery to me, though.